Fan letter to H.P. Lovecraft from Jorge Luis Borges. My dear Howard, you have written that there exists in the Central Library at the University of Buenos Aires a copy of a book bound in human skin. Whosoever reads that book goes mad or blind. I do not know where this Central Library stands. I cannot reach it with these clumsy fingers of mine, these cumbersome bones. It is imaginary, your book, and your library. Yet I know a place that certainly contains them both. I have lived in that place all my life. It is a library big as the universe, honeycombed with endless hexagonal cells lined with all possible books, as if deposited by the secretions of some swarm of paper wasps. I refer not only to the paltry finitude of books collected in the Widener, the Bodley, and the British, not only to the lost books of Alexandria, books buried by the first emperor of China, books burnt by the Inquisition, books burnt in the fires of Rome and London and Dresden, but also to books written in the language of light, the language of gas molecules, the hieroglyphics of sentient atmospheric vortices and Jovian planets, infinities of books, each of them claiming to be the true and unaltered word of the one true God, and all of them disproving by their very existence the claims of all the others. In that library, as well known and alien to me as my own imagination, there are infinitely many Necronomicons. The names and laws of the dead that they list are endlessly contradictory, and all of the soul-blasting angles in each monstrous figure required for each blasphemous ritual are wrong, because for each angle prescribed in one Necronomicon, there are myriads of Necronomicons to forbid them. And this was your failure, friend. You imagine only one book, sovereign, immutable. You imagine that it says the universe is incomprehensible and infinite, that it cares nothing for us. You imagine that that is horror. It is not. Dear Howard, it is comfort. All books are imaginary, but some books are more imaginary than others. This is to say that they are more real because they are more mutable, closer to the infinite. I am blind, and all books bound in the tangible world are to me illegible, as all the world is also only an imagined and manifold thing, possible murmurs of the wind, potential lines traced by this falling leaf or that, collection of indeterminate signs that I am able to read now only in the library of my imagination. And the book, the transcendent book that within itself contains all other possible books, including a copy of itself. The book in which you and I write letters to each other, the dead whispering to the dead in the blind spaces of the universal imagination, each of us books bound in human skin, stitched with sinew and vein, gleaming pages of our nerves, limned with electric ink. In that infinite library, more real than the world, that book, too, awaits its reader. Yours, Borges.